Check, check, check. Everyone hear me? Yeah? We all good? I know some of you have been here since 2:30. We got a little behind schedule. But we're going to try to keep things moving along. We've got, this is our fourth demo of the day. So we're going to move right along with it and kind of get cracking, okay? So today, or right now I should say, we're going to do kind of a simple thing that we've all done at home, I'm sure. Anyone who cooks at home is a roast chicken, yeah? Lots of people roast chicken at home, yeah? Some of the challenges with it, it's a simple thing, but there's a lot to it. Some people will truss it. Some people will stuff it. Some people will, let the legs fly open to get a crispier skin. Jacques Pepin says that, bacteria issue, don't worry about it. Don't even rinse it. Just put it in the oven, because at 350 for an hour, ain't nothing surviving. So there's different philosophies around how to handle chicken, how to cook chicken, how to roast chicken. I'm going to show you guys a way today that I'm sure you've never seen before. And I tell you what I like about it. It kind of cooks your potato and your chicken all in one shot. It makes the skin super crispy. And more importantly, the breast meat stays incredibly moist. All right? And those are kind of the things that I really love about this recipe. The only thing about it is it requires a little bit of gentle handling of your chicken, which we're going to go through very, very carefully to show you guys how to approach that. And then we're going to have some samples for you guys. So we got some chickens roasting up there right now that we'll be sampling. But we're going to take you through step by step at how to do the roast chicken, I guess, our way, the way that we like to do it, okay? So to start, basically all you need, again, this year we're trying to do recipes that are very simple that you can take home and try and not be overwhelmed and not be kind of, taken back by it all. So any of you guys who are kind of first time in the kitchen or wanting to try this recipe, this is a great one to start. Perfect roast chicken, okay? So what I got here is I've got grated potato. So I just took a potato, peeled it, and grated it. Nothing else, just that, okay? So to get started, we're gonna cook this potato, grate it, for about a minute. Nothing complicated, nothing overwhelming. Just want to get my heat controlled here. So just over a medium-high heat, you're going to want to go half oil, all right, and half butter. And what happens is the oil prevents the butter from burning, all right? So it increases the heat point, so it allows you to bring the heat up just a little bit more. Otherwise, the butter will brown. I'm sure some of you have brown butter, it can turn really bitter. So all we want to do is just kind of melt this butter along with our oil. Hey guys, how you doing? Glad you're watching. Can everyone see this up top on the mirror? Are we in good position? If I'm not, just give me a holler. And if I don't hear you, you can throw something at me. All right, so you can see we got some, our butter is melting. It's bubbling, so the heat is right. It's just where I want it. Just going to take our grated potato, simple, again, just peeled potato, grate it, nothing more, nothing less. And we're just going to add straight to the butter and the oil, okay? Give that a little stir. Again, anytime you're doing something like this, you want to hear a sizzle. If you don't hear a sizzle, your pan's not hot enough. Kind of make sure your pan is hot before you put anything in it. In this case, anyway. Now, we're not going to cook this very long. What I want to do is I want to get the butter and the oil and the salt. Season this fairly aggressively. I've got coarse sea salt here. And just some pepper. Nothing drastic. And all I want to do is get that oil and get that seasoning through this potato. And that's it. Done. Off the heat. Easy breezy, yeah? Now, in most cases, we let this cool. Takes 10 minutes, let it cool. We're going to speed up the process here for demo purposes. But letting that cool, because you don't want to put anything hot into a cold chicken. Just not good practice, okay? We're going to do it here today on stage, but we're not going to eat this. We've got other stuff coming down, so don't criticize me too hard when you see me stuff something warm into a raw chicken. So we got a raw chicken here. Before I handle this, now anytime you're dealing with chicken at home, as you know, you kind of want to be extra cautious. chicken is probably one of the most dangerous proteins out there in terms of food-borne illness and bacteria. So, to avoid cross-contamination at home, make sure you wear gloves or, be dedicated with clean hands, and don't, try not to cross over too much. So in an effort to do that, we'll keep our potato over here. We'll work with our chicken on this board. So just in terms of how you handle chicken, just be aware of the fact that there's some food safety kind of standards that you might want to consider when you're approaching, okay? So I got my gloves on. I'll take my chicken and we'll get that right on the cutting board. Let me get that down. Now, here's the delicate part that I was telling you about in the beginning, okay? What we want to do is we want to kind of get that. Has anybody ever kind of cooked a turkey and kind of reached their hand in underneath the skin to kind of put dollops of butter? Has anyone ever done that with a roast turkey? I mean, just some people do it quite a bit. It'll make the skin really brown. Again, the same practice with the chicken. We want to lift the skin off of the actual meat, all right? So I want to create a pocket of skin and then meat, but be able to pull the skin up and create a pocket in between the two. All right, so that's what we're going to do today. Now, in order to do it, what I do is I start from the back, and I just push my fingers in on the sides, because in the spine, right across the spine of the chicken, the skin is attached really well, all right? And off to the right and the left of the skin, sorry, I'm 16 years old, I got a cracking voice. Right to the right or left of the skin, it's usually generally easier to get your fingers underneath it, but you really got to pay attention to the spine here, okay? So I'm going to go to the right of the spine first, then to the left, and again, I'm not forcing my finger in there, but I'm giving it enough force to kind of break through that membrane. And then once I get in there, can you guys see the blue color through the? Can you see that close? It's kind of hard, but you can see my finger there, right? So I'm getting a little tension, so I just broke that tension. So you can see that I'm kind of free to do that. And again, I want to keep working my finger in and around that chicken, okay? And again, this is the hardest part of this recipe. And it's not hard, it's just you don't want to be just jamming your fingers in, breaking holes through the skin. So I went that far on the back of the chicken. Now I'll turn the chicken around and come in from the other end, okay? So now I'm kind of right over the leg, right over the breast. And see how I've got that kind of pocket created? Can you get a sense of that? So again, I'm getting tough in the middle, so I'm going to go side to side first. So I'm having usually I don't use the knife. I had to use the knife just once to make a slick cut there. But then I will just need to get over this side. So there we go. So now I'm onto that side. Things that are so easy at home can be a little more complicated when you got about 50 or 60 people watching. Okay, so you can see that you can see that the skin has been raised up everywhere except the spine. The spine is that tough part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to reach in on each side now, bring my fingers together, and pull them back towards me. So I'm going to grab onto the meat, pinch tight until I can feel it break through, and I'm just going to haul back. And what will happen is I'll end up breaking through that tight skin on the spine, okay? So I'm just going to grab it and kind of get up and underneath it. And again, you don't have to go too hard, but you definitely want to, here we go. Okay? All right, so what we got is a great big pocket of skin. Can you see that? I put my hand right in there. All right, no holes. Go back to the other side, make sure there's no tension there. Make sure there's no more skin that I can break through. And what we got now is our chicken prepped and ready to go, okay? So we got our chicken. The skin is off it. It's really loose. All right, now we're going to take our potato. Now all this is going to cook in the oven, so I don't mind putting my raw chicken hands in there because it's all going to go in there anyway. And we're going to bake it for a full hour at 350. So you got no worries about bacteria. It's just if I have my hand like this and I went and grabbed a carrot or touch the counter, you have to be careful because what's on my hands now, once it goes bad, it will kill you, right? So just have the heads up about salmonella, and when you're handling chicken, to make sure that you're cautious of food safety. So now, as you guys saw, I cooked this potato for maybe 30 seconds. It's still got texture to it. It's full of flavor because it's coated in butter and salt and pepper. Now all I'm going to do is start at the front, and I'm going to actually stuff this in underneath the skin. And you're going to be shocked at how much potato will go under a chicken skin. So I'm just going to keep kind of, and again, I'm not trying to stuff it in this front all the way back. I'm just stuffing it to the middle, then I'll turn it and stuff it from that side, okay? So I'm just going to kind of keep stuffing that in there. Keep stuffing that in there. Make sure you get a good little feel on it. Now, believe it or not, I probably haven't done enough chicken or enough potato. So in an effort, let's get this thing fired back up again. And we'll do that other potato, and I'll just give you an illustration as to how much potato can actually go underneath that chicken breast, or that chicken skin, sorry. All right, so again, I'll just do this again. Butter, a little bit of oil, some salt and pepper. And again, be a little generous with your salt and pepper. You know, seasoning is key to good food. You don't want to over-season, but under-seasoning is just as bad. So again, seasoning is kind of a personal taste. But, you know, find a level that you like and kind of keep tasting. And it's fine to eat this just as is. And again, you're just cooking it just to the point where the butter melts, the oil's all distributed evenly through. And now I'll get right back to continuous stuffing this. So we got about 3 potatoes that I graded for this demo for up here on stage. And my chicken? Ah, that's the magic of demonstrations, eh? So again, you'll see I had about 3 large-sized potatoes that I graded for stage here that was in those 2 containers. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see up top there, I'm still going with it. And there's still plenty of room to keep jamming potato up and underneath that skin. It's amazing how much you can get in there. That's hot, eh? Right out of the pan like that. Good thing I burnt the fingertips off me about 15 years ago, and now it doesn't matter so much. All right, so what I got, and again, to keep this demo really simple and incredibly straightforward, is I've got a chicken breast stuffed with 3 whole grated potato. And that potato has butter and oil and salt and pepper. And what it's going to do is as it bakes, the skin is stretched against the potato. So the butter comes out of the potato and into the skin and forms this amazing, beautiful crust, crispy skin, okay? And then underneath, you've got this layer of kind of gratin potato that's salt and pepper and buttery and just cooked really slowly with all the chicken meat and juice cooking into the potato as it's baking. So when you peel that layer of skin off, you've got this wonderful potato that's filled with butter and chicken juice, and it's just amazing. And then you've got the most moist, delicious breast meat that you'll ever come across. And then, of course, the legs are just nice and brown and skinned up. And what happens is sometimes you'll truss it. Don't even bother. Just put it right into a pan, roasting pan, in the oven, 350 for about 45 minutes to an hour. Again, you can put a thermometer straight through into the breast or best into the thigh. If it's at 165, you're good to go, okay? So 170 actually I think is the new regulations. I usually go 165 because I want it nice and moist. But again, 45, 60 minutes, and you'll have our version of a roasted chicken. So now, just for sanitation reasons, I'm going to try to, if you guys will give me just a quick minute, I'm going to kind of move the raw chicken stuff out of my way. I'm going to get cleaned up, and then we're going to show you the finished product. Yeah. So can everyone get a sense of that chicken being stuffed with the potato? Yeah? Did that come across? Good stuff. We're not at that stage yet, but there's yep. All right, so I just got some antibacterial Lysol wipes here. We'll just get a quick clean. Make sure my hands are good. And then we'll get cracking on some taste tests, yeah? See how all this tastes. All right. So, you all saw the raw chicken that I just removed from here, so we don't have no worries. Totally stuffed, the skin is pulled up. Again, gently on the right and the left, turn gently on the right and the left, and then pinch down the spine to remove that. Stuff it with the potato and in the oven, okay? And you can season with salt the top of that chicken before you put it in, and that'll help dry out the skin as it cooks. It'll draw the moisture out and it'll make it that much crispier again. So, with no further avail, we've got our first chicken breast, and you can see and you can take this like little bit of juice that's left over, we can make ourselves a little sauce and a little gravy with it, okay? And you'll see that in the recipes that are there. So as the chicken is cooking, it's going to leave some juice in the pan. Don't waste that. Make yourself a little gravy out of that. I'm sure you're all familiar with those steps and techniques. So then we've got our crispy skin. So even feeling it, it's got a crispiness to it, okay? And all I'm going to do, there's lots of ways to cut up a chicken, but in this case I'm going to do it a little different to just illustrate the potato underneath, okay? So I really want to make sure you guys get a sense of that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do it this way just to give you an idea. Now, as you all know, eating chicken, it might not be the healthiest, but some of the best part is a crispy skin. Hard to beat, right? Salty, texturally great, can't beat it. So in this case, this is super hot. See if we can get the proper tools, always help. So as you can see, we've got this beautifully cooked potato. Now it looks a little butcher because of the way I did it to illustrate it. But what you got then is you chop that up, and you've almost got like a potato latte with a crispy skin on the bottom. And then you can cut up your chicken. And again, when you're kind of breaking out a chicken, you just kind of want to get the legs off. Super hot. And if you cook it right, it should just kind of fall off, yeah? So let's get the 9 pieces here. I don't know if you guys can see, but do you see the shine on that breast? It's just super moist, super moist. And the reason being is because that potato protected that all the way through the cooking. And there we go. Now I've got this tore apart, but it's too hot for me to touch, so I kind of got to pull at it. But anyway, see if we can get this kind of in pieces for you to give you an idea. So you've got leg meat, you've got breast meat, you've got your thighs, and you're ready to serve. A little veg on the side, and away you go. All done in about an hour's time. So without further ado, now I had the lemon here because sometimes it's nice to put a lemon on the inside of the cavity. And that'll just bring a little bit of citrus and a little bit of acidity to it. We didn't do it here, but that's why I had it on stage for that raw chicken. You can just throw a few pieces in, and it adds a really nice kind of tart, kind of citrus, cooks from the inside and comes out. And it actually makes this juice that you make a gravy with much more flavorful. So you can always throw a bit of lemon in there as well, yeah? So that's my version of a simple, easy roast chicken that gives you kind of outstanding results without having to always be checking temperature and wondering if your oven's too high, or that potato is going to coat and protect that moisture of that chicken breast, okay? So without further ado, I'd say we can start serving up some portions. What do you say, huh? Want to have a taste? What's that? Yeah, yep.